Hey everybody, this is TheBigJB for Morning Thunder. I haven't done one of these in a while. And, you know, that's because life gets busy and I run out of places to do it. But, you know, I thought it's time for some new content because some of my good friends on YouTube have been talking about my channel, and hey, I figured that if you're going to be a new subscriber, you might want to see something new. And thank you to everybody who's been a new subscriber over the last couple days. You guys rock. I hope you love the content that you see here. It's a little bit different. I don't do game reviews. A lot of this started when I was just kind of talking about stuff off the top of my head, and I wanted to try to do it, see if I could do it every day for a year. And I ended up doing it every day except weekends. So I recently went to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo with my good buddies Metal Jesus, Drunken Master Paul, Mrs. Metal Jesus, and my new good buddy Barnacules. It was a great trip. I'd never been before. I've been to lots of other conventions before. I've been to E3, I got to go to Gen Con, I've been to other conventions, and they're always fun. And so I knew that it was going to be exciting, but Metal Jesus and Drunken Master Paul were super excited about it, and so I'm like, yay, cool, I'm excited to go, but I had no frame of reference. I just didn't know what to expect, and I'm really glad that I went. 5 of us loaded up into Drunken Master Paul's Suburban and headed down to Portland, a trip that took 5 hours because of the rain. Why people in the Pacific Northwest get thrown off by it raining, I don't know, but they do. And Barnacules, that's your new name, Barnacules. Barnacules joined us. I'd never met him before. He's got another really popular channel here on YouTube. Go check it out. He's got some amazing stuff. And I was really glad to meet him. We had a great time going down there. He and I clicked. We talked a lot about our kids and stuff and just kind of gaming in general, and we had a good laugh. The whole ride was really good. So we get there Friday night. We had a little challenge going before we started. Go watch Metal Jesus' video. You'll get to see the entire challenge, how everything went down, who got what, everything else. Definitely go see that, because it will fill in a good part of the story that I'm not going to tell here. But we had this challenge, and Friday night it wasn't even open. The con wasn't even open yet. It was vendor night. They were basically getting stuff set up. Because we had VIP passes, we got to get in. We got the VIP passes from Chuck Van Pelt, who runs the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. He does an amazing job. It's a really terrific job getting everybody together, getting everything set up. So he's done a pretty amazing job of all that. So big props to you, Chuck. So we get in there with our VIP passes. We're watching all the vendors get set up, and Barnacules finds his challenge item. He finds his Holy Grail item, and he gets the guy to give it to him for free, which means he got bonus points for our contest. And then he proceeded to brag about it like crazy, which meant he lost his shoe and had to buy it again for himself from a vendor at the show. That's all I'm going to say about that. You've got to go watch those videos. Both Barnacules and Metal Jesus rocks. So I will put the link in the comments below. So make sure you go check them out, because it's a hilarious story. The location is in Portland, obviously the Portland Convention Center, and it's one of the biggest exhibition halls that they have there at that center. And 2/3 of it was vendors, all kinds of vendors. They made crafts, pillows, pictures, anything you could possibly imagine that had to do with video games, you could find it there. So, and then of course the video games, you could buy anything, Atari 2600, Commodore 64, NES, Super NES, all that old retro gaming stuff, and the people were so cool. There was no ounce of pretension through the show of anybody that I encountered. The other third of the hall, the other third of the hall was the arcade. That was amazing because they had a bunch of pinball machines. I've never really been into pinball, but for those of you who like pinball and you want to go, it's great. Go to that show and play a lot of pinball. But then they had this arcade section that was all games from my childhood, and everything set to free play. And oh my gosh, it was so fun. I felt like I was walking back into Aladdin's castle in Fiesta Mall in Mesa, Arizona, back when I went to go do that stuff with my dad. It was incredible. And the game selection, they had cocktail cabinets, and the game selection was really nice. So, and again, Chuck puts all that stuff together, brings them in from private owners, from different, there's a barcade in Portland that contributes. It was so incredibly fun. My takeaway from the whole thing, besides my Holy Grail item, because I did get my Holy Grail item, I was going for Faxanadu for the NES in the box. It was a game that I had played when I was a kid. I don't even remember where I got it. Probably a Christmas present. Somebody had no idea what they were buying and just, here you go, here's Faxanadu. Whatever. I played it, and I remember playing it and being really confused. Not confused by it, but I was thrown by a couple things in it. So I was like, you know what, I should get that. I remember that game fondly. So I did get my Holy Grail item. And I got a couple art pieces that are really cool. I got White Tree of Gondor. And I got a picture from this lady that does sort of this Greco-Roman art style, and it's Samus fighting Ridley. And she did an amazing job. I really liked her work, so I had to have that. The big takeaway for me was the people. I met so many neat people. So obviously, Metal Jesus, Mrs. Metal Jesus, Drunken Master Paul, I've known those guys for 20 years. And we get along great. I love hanging out with those guys. Obviously, I'm doing videos for Metal Jesus' channel every month, so if you haven't checked those out, definitely do that. I'm reviewing at least one game a month for him. So I've known these guys for a long time. Barnacules had never met before. I hadn't even really heard of his channel, to be honest. But I checked his stuff out, and I thought it was excellent. And meeting him in person was fantastic. It was really, really neat to meet him and hang out with him as much as we did. So, but then there are other people, and I actually made a list of the people that I hung out with because it was a long list, and they were such cool people. They deserve some mentions. So I already mentioned Barnacules, so he's on that list. Then there's Kinsey. She is part of the Seattle Retro Gaming Expo and hung out with us all weekend, tolerated our insanity all weekend, and she's just a treat to hang out with. So that was awesome. And then I got to meet the guys from All Gen Gamers podcast. Metal Jesus is on there, but Gamester81, Jason Heine, and Pete Dorr. Jason stood around and talked to me about drums and music from my kid. My son's a drummer, and he didn't have to. He was just really approachable, and he had a performance that was outstanding. A one-man drum show, so initially I was like, well, how good could this be? But he jams out to old 8-bit songs from games that we grew up with, and does a great job. It's just incredible. I got to meet Circuits and Coffee, Anna, and her partner. They went with me to go play. I didn't intend to be a tour guide, but there I was, and so we went and played Gauntlet Legacy, I think. The three of us and Mrs. Metal Jesus. So we played that thing to the end, which was really fun. They were great people. I met a guy named Wood. Silly name, I know. He has a channel here on YouTube called Beat 'em Ups, and he walked up to me and he said, "Do you know you look like Tony Stark?" Like, I haven't heard that a million times. And he saw it register in my eye, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And I played it off. I was like, "Hey, you know what? It's no big deal. I do know that I look like that." And frankly, he looked like Thor. So of course, I had to get a picture of Tony Stark and Thor together. And there're just some people that you really click with. And Wood and I clicked. We just kind of, from that point on, we were buds. I invited him to go to lunch with us, and we hung out, and it was to the point where when we left, I couldn't find him. We'd looked for him to say bye, couldn't find him, and he was really upset that we didn't get a chance to say bye. So he met up with us for lunch, and so it was the crew that I went down with, minus Barnacules. Then it was Wood, and then Super Derek, which is a friend of his, also here on YouTube, who he'd been staying with, and Super Derek's wife. And it was a great lunch, good company. We had a fantastic time, everybody talking to everybody else. But it was so cool that there was that level of connection that we were actually upset that we didn't get to say bye to each other. And it's just really cool. And it made me realize at the end of all of that, I'm an extroverting personality type. I thrive on being around people. I love attention, I love being around people, and that's how I recharge. And I needed that weekend so badly. And I was thinking about it and how not great I had been taking care of myself in that regard, because I have a family. I spend a lot of time at home, and it's great. I don't mind being a family man. I love being married. I love having kids, but I haven't been taking care of myself in regards to getting out and being around other people, and I have really needed that. So it was a great trip. So it's my encouragement to you, is if you got to figure out how you're wired, and if you get recharged by being around people, make sure that you do that. It doesn't have to be all the time. Don't go out and party every night, but hang out with people that you like hanging out with. You're going to get recharged, and you'll do better in life. It's less stress. If you're an introverting personality type, don't force yourself into situations where there's going to be a ton of people. Take time to take care of yourself, recharge, sit on the couch, read a book, I know because my wife and I are opposite. My wife prefers to stay indoors. Now we can both do the opposite, right? I can hang out at home. I like being at home, reading a book, chilling with the family, but I really thrive on being out with people. My wife can be out with people, does fine, but she really thrives and really recharges by being alone with her thoughts, whatever. So figure out what your type is and take care of yourself. We all need to do that a little bit more in life. Hey, thanks for watching. This has been TheBigJB. Check out Metal Jesus' channel, Barnacules' channel, and Wood's channel, and every other channel that I link down below. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see everybody next time. Bye-bye.